This is Balanced, a holistic lifestyle podcast for millennials that focuses on mastering mind, body, and soul. I'm your host, Jebu Vive, a Jamaican mother, wife, educator, and motivator. Follow me as we dive into all of life's compartments on my journey to striking the balance. What a guan, beautiful people! Beauts. This is our very first show on its very first season, and I have a mouthful of wisdom to impart. First off, I'm super excited to have you join me. Thank you so much for tuning in to spend some time with moi, your sage, your blunt bombshell host, Jebu V. Okay? Today we'll be taking a closer look at what stops us from getting geared up and running and how we can beat that beast called procrastination. So, if you're not busy or otherwise preoccupied, grab a notepad and let's kick things off. Welcome to the Balanced family. Have you ever felt the need to get something done, but you found yourself fighting to do it? Well, guess what? You're definitely not alone, okay? I know so many people can relate to the phrase, the first step is the hardest. Myself included. I've always had trouble getting things done proactively. In retrospect, procrastination, that was my thing, okay? So thank heavens I'm here with you officially, finally getting this journey started. It's been a long time coming. And listen, it's been so long, I have to give you beautiful people some perspective. I first fell in love with radio maybe when I was around 10 years old, and I have been wanting to explore it since then. But it's only been roughly around a year maybe or so that I decided to seriously start looking into podcasting, which I do consider to be a similar medium, you know? I loved the idea of just being able to encourage good energy and hold a reason with people. But, and there seems to always be a but, the more I engaged the idea of producing my own show, putting the dreams of my 10-year-old self into full effect, I began to feel as though something was holding me back. Something was stopping me from getting involved the way I saw myself. Now, if you've ever had trouble with procrastination, stay with me, because coming up, we're going to be looking at one of the major causes for it. So don't move, all right? Hold a reason. This means being able to have an exchange through meaningful conversation. So come make hold a reason. Beauts, wagwan. If you're just tuning in, we're talking about beating the beast called procrastination. Now, we talk about the barefaced truth here. That's what this balanced family is really about. We don't shy away from what's real, keep it 100. So, excuse me in advance if I say something that may come across a bit brazen because, listen, I'm known for that, okay? I'm going to make a point right now, okay, Beauts? We can always discuss this later when you find me on TikTok or on Twitter at JebuVive, that's JEBUVVT, and we can continue the conversation in our balanced community there. All right? Ready? 'Cause here I go. The heart is magnificent at playing tricks on the mind, and that then, in turn, is what causes an internal struggle. See it there? I've said it. Now, beg your humor me. What happens when our hearts and minds don't get along? No, okay, listen. Don't guess. Let me just tell you, okay? When they work in opposition, we become conflicted. We can't help but feel stuck not knowing which to listen to, right? Or better yet, what happens when they agree on the same sad, bad, negative thing? Because I think when these two get together to pull a number off on us, there are so many things we could be experiencing. I have to point out, though, that it doesn't matter what age you are or at what point you are in your existential journey, Okay? Things like self-doubt can still creep in, when your mind is telling you that you're not good enough, which it often does. Or another one is this: anxiety, for example, because you're shy and you'd like to be more vocal. See, it varies, and we will all have an internal fight on our journeys, one way or the other. Okay? Now, before I really go in on this topic, beautiful people, I just want to point out that an internal conflict is nothing to be ashamed of. No matter what it is you're facing, you're a human being. You're not mechanical. So keep that chin up and keep it pushing, okay? Keep it pushing, boo. When I decided to put effort into this podcast, I couldn't trust my ability to create the content or product that people actually wanted to interact with. So for you to be listening to me right now, for you to be tuning in, that alone is a blessing. Thank you again. All right. Thank you. See, my heart and mind got together and they played me so well that even though I knew I had bright ideas, I was stuck for months not believing that what I had to offer could work. I didn't know how I would make them real. Actually getting me out of my own head was my struggle, because that's exactly where the negative lived. Nowhere else. There was nothing real or truthful about these thoughts that I was experiencing. I became so tired of being stuck in the cycle where the thoughts were holding me captive, and they were rooted in how I felt about myself. Okay, yeah, hold on. I know what you're thinking. I know it's hard to hear because it's hard to admit, but sometimes the truth hurts. Sometimes that painful truth tastes so nasty, you would prefer to spit it out instead of taking a breath to swallow. Am I right? Okay, listen, beautiful people, I had to admit it to myself. I wasn't in a place of growth and light. It was more a place of fear. I didn't have the courage. My heart had taken full control of my logic, so much so I began acting against myself, acting against my dreams. The struggle to getting the confidence to get started is not limited to some people. Like fear isn't limited to only a select few, right? What I've learned is that it's only a matter of what you do with that fear. Now, if kicking procrastination to the curb is a goal of yours like it became a goal of mine, honey, we'll be talking more about how we can take down that beast in just a few. Thanks for keeping up with me, Beauts. So, we're talking about how we can break away from procrastination, right? How can we beat that beast? Now, in order for me to get going doing the things I felt called to do, I had to face myself. That meant finding and facing the root of my fear. I had to deal with the relentless pursuit of it, fear that is, chasing my dreams to slaughter them, and constantly filling my mind with these, as I from this day forward will call them, hold down energies. Yeah, hold down energies. These are the thoughts that were binding my hands and feet, sitting on my chest and lips. These were the thoughts that were holding me down. There are those people who don't get started because that beast called fear is determined to take over, determined to immobilize them. Majority of the time, this fear breeds procrastination. You see that? You see that right there? But listen, that doesn't have to be you, my beautiful people, okay? See, the best part of all of this is you get to decide. Yeah, you do. Let me repeat that. For those in the back who didn't hear me, let me say that loud and clear again, okay? You get to decide. You get to decide what you do. You can decide to go to war with whatever thoughts were born from fear. You can decide if you will start to take action. Now, Beauts, listen. I'm not saying the root of your standstill, your procrastination, has to do with you being afraid. It could be, but what I'm trying to say is You need to find the feeling that caused it if it isn't. You need to be able to find that thing that causes those hold down energies and face them. I needed to break into discomfort in order to attain the comfort I dreamed of. Now, I'm far from being fearless, okay? So don't get tricked. Okay? Don't be fooled. I don't think I'll ever be completely ready. However, there is something so empowering about being able to do this ill-prepared and cluelessly. Finding your stride to get started has everything to do with being completely honest with yourself, keeping in mind that there is no such thing as the perfect time, all right? I took a moment to step back just enough to know that I wasn't going to settle for anything less than what I was called for. I believed in and valued myself enough. Yeah, let me repeat that one again too. I believed in myself and I valued myself enough to know that I deserved more. So here I am, taking that first step, having this conversation, a whole reason with you beautiful people, making a start, doing it. Maybe an end will come to procrastination if you start by believing that you're worth it. What you dream of, you're worth that too. And maybe then, fear will decide to retire from knocking at your front door. He'll retire from chasing at you as much as he does now, at least, right? And maybe you'll be able to get started. But that brings me to the big question today. Why start? The answer will be different for everyone, so what's yours? Knowing why you want to do it, whatever your it is pretty important. That why is going to be your motivation, that driving force that actually gets you moving. That why is going to be your weapon against your magnificent yet negative heart and mind. A weapon to cut down that beast. Yeah. Procrastination can be difficult to overcome, okay? We're not gonna deny that. We're not gonna go around it. It's going to take some effort on your part because getting started is never easy, but it's definitely never impossible. That said, it's that time of the show where I must say, if you are completely confident and totally in control of you, cheers to that. Or if you all have it figured out, listen, I'm talking to you still. The balanced family still welcomes you, okay? With open arms, might I add, because we motivate here. Good vibes with Jamaican flavor is not for the faint of heart. It's a mindset. Have you ever been in that place where you just feel less than your best and you were just too scared to do anything about it? Drop me a comment and let me know how you're getting geared up and running. On that note, we can call this episode a wrap. Thanks for tuning in today, and I hope you enjoyed our chat. Falla Bakami, your blunt bombshell at Jabuvi on Twitter, Instagram, and on TikTok for more motivational content. Join me next week as we strive to strike the balance. Until then, walk good, beautiful people. Bless. Don't forget to subscribe to Balanced for exclusive content and updates on our weekly uploads.